Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Island Paradise. Not always the paradise you think it is, right? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Islands, the newest film from director Jan-Ole Gerster. Okay, so in the newest film that I guarantee you have not heard of because I didn't hear about it until about a week ago, Islands is the story of Tom, who's played by Sam Riley, who is a tennis pro that washes up on the shore of this holiday resort and somehow gets a job as a tennis instructor. Well, in this partying days that he has and like the sleeping with the residents and so on and so forth of this island, Tom comes across this family who are played by, of course, Stacy Martin and Jack Farthing, and they have a kid named Anton who wants lessons from, of course, Tom. Well, in the process of everything, Tom and this father, who's played by Jack Farthing, go out for one night, and the father disappears in the mix of the night. You know, the guy, Tom, wakes up, and in the process, this becomes a thriller. It becomes like a Hitchcockian thriller about what happened to the father, about the mother, who seems to be the suspect, and Tom, who gets mixed into this group, as well as kind of like realizing that he needs to have more drive and purpose because he just kind of lives, you know, off the land and stuff like that. So once again, I had never heard of this movie before until someone sent me a screener for it, so I do appreciate that. But sometimes, like I said, and I've said this before in other reviews, sometimes that's where the better films come out. That's the ones that you kind of find out as the diamonds in the rough, stuff that surprise you. And Sam Riley, of course, was in the Maleficent films. Stacy Martin has been around for a little while. Jack Farthing as well. And once again, I'm willing to go into a movie that is deemed like a Hitchcockian thriller or a thriller in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I land when it comes to this movie. And so with that said, my overall take is outside of the ending of this movie, it's a pretty competent thriller. It's a pretty competent film about a guy who's just lost in his life and lost in the world and just doesn't really have any drive. And one day this family comes along and he becomes more kind of alive in a lot of respects. And therefore, I found it pretty fun and entertaining. Once again, the ending is kind of let down, to be fairly honest, but it's kind of hard to kind of conclude a mystery thriller in a lot of respects. It's very, you know, Hitchcock was the reason, you know, it was very successful. And I think Sam Riley is pretty good as the lead in this movie. I think Stacy Martin does a pretty competent job as a mother, and Jack Farthing is there. He's there. He's the lost guy in the movie, and he does for what he can. And I think Jan-Ole Gerster does a pretty competent job directing this movie because you kind of go along with it. It's kind of a, you know, just kind of a their movie. You know, you're on this island, and this guy, Tom, has friends, and he's friends with a police captain. He's friends with these people who own, of course, camels who are retiring. And it's about his kind of finding his way to becoming more than what he is. And, you know, Lost Souls are very much in the realm of like, you know, people that are just kind of there and just need some purpose in their life. And adding this kind of thriller into the mix of like the disappearance and the idea of like who the person could be that, you know, could be the criminal or whatever. The one that is, you know, the suspect, I guess you could say. But it really doesn't do more than that. It's actually for 2 hours. It feels like it could be a lot shorter, and you know, it definitely kind of wanders and kind of meanders a little bit. But you know, I just found that these characters are entertaining, and you know, Jack Farthing's character is very unlikable, and Stacy Martin feels like she needs more out of the situation, and it's a movie that just kind of lives with you. It kind of just envelops you in this world and kind of takes you on this journey and kind of allows, you know, the Anton character, who's a young kid who kind of befriends the Tom character as they learn more about tennis and how people can be a little bit entitled, and like when that comes up to bite them in the butt and stuff like that. It's really, in the end, it is a very slow burn movie with a very Hitchcockian feel. And, you know, it feels a lot like, you know, Rope, or it feels a lot like Vertigo, or it feels a lot like, you know, any of those films that just kind of slowly move into the realm of what it's trying to do. And once again, I think the ending could have been more, not straightforward, but more just kind of mystery driven, I guess you could say. I think it wraps up too easily, and it leads to the characters' conclusions that feel a little too, it could have been better, to be fairly honest. That's kind of my qualms with the movie, but I think everybody's great in the movie. I think it's a nice little gem of a film that it won't be in my top 10. If you find this movie on like VOD, or you find this movie in the theater, definitely check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Like I said, it's not the most like action packed, or it's not the most quick paced movie. It's 2 hours and 3 minutes for a reason, but for a slow burn, I think it works for as well as it does. So that's my take on Islands. It'll be on in theaters for a short time and then VOD very shortly after that. So check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, that is my take on Islands. I do appreciate it. In the comments below, have you heard of this movie? What's your take on Hitchcockian thrillers? Let me know in the comments. But otherwise, if you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.